I want to give a little context ahead of this. Her work is also a magic school.
A magic school.
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
What, are you serious?
So my boss is like really into magic. He's really
What
into
the
magic.
fuck?
Yeah.
And he was like, I've always wanted to have my own magic store. And we were like, work, king, go off, do it.
Yeah.
So he like has our like work phone set up to redirect calls like for the store. And what it was like 2-3 weeks ago maybe that somebody called.
Oh, somebody called and said I magically turned into a toddler,
and I can't turn myself back.
And I'm wearing
He was
diapers,
like,
and I would
do
not.
you have a potion or a spell I could use? And I was like, what?
Was he serious?
He was
Yes.
dead serious. I think, or I don't know what.
And it wasn't a sex thing. Like it was.
It could have.
It
I
might
had
have.
a speculation.
Yeah. Any man in a diaper that's under 60 years old, it is a sex thing.
Early on, when Harrison came on, right? It was probably towards the beginning, maybe when you were still a guest. We asked him, I think, what he did, and he's like talking about what he does. Like,
I know where this is
he's
going.
Like, I used to, I used to be in sales, but I that was making me not the type of person that I should be. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so your girlfriend made you quit your job, Like, and he's like, well,
Which job? Which job is this?
The roofing job. What do you think?
I didn't make you quit.
I know you didn't. I was.
It's just a recurring theme here.
I was miserable at this job.
Yeah, it's
But
not
in
like
this-
I put in your 2 weeks for
No, you didn't.
ET phone home. Yeah, just getting a sound for everybody. Check the levels.
To your leader.
I'm fine doing the podcast just like this.
I wouldn't be able to because I keep listening to myself too much and it's making me
Anxiety.
delay myself. I'm doing it right now. I can't stop.
I feel like this is how Ben Shapiro dreams. In this voice.
That's very funny. Well, thank you all both for coming to the Manly Girly Show.
Yeah, thank you for
Appreciate
being
it.
here.
Thank you for having me,
This is
Arturo.
the first time meeting you, Caitlin.
Yes.
Caitlin with a C or a K? This has been highly debated for a long time.
Only. C's only.
Okay. And,
C's get degrees,
Yes.
and you're Harrison's other half, his matzo to his matzo ball soup,
I try.
It's, what do they call, what other terms do you have for goy?
Oh yeah, she's a
You-
shiksa. She's a
Yeah,
shiksa.
shiksa. Yeah. Have you ever had to be his Shiva's goy, and like do
No,
things
no,
for him?
no. She doesn't. She doesn't control the media for me on Fridays when
I
I'm
don't
gone.
flip the lights on. I don't
Yeah,
open
we
the
don't. We don't do any of that.
No.
When does it last till like sundown on Saturday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When everyone
So
goes outside
technically,
at
it should
night.
be happening right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is not kosher. What's
You need
going
to
on?
fix this.
What?
It's like you're putting your mouth too high. Push it down a little.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
All right, cool.
We need to see your beautiful face, Harrison.
All right. Hello. Any more
so-
questions?
So yeah, welcome to the show, Caitlin.
Thank you for being here.
We only know like a little bit about you from Harrison, but what do you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're not a comic. What do you
No.
want to be? What are you? What are you willing to disclose?
So I'm an environmental scientist. I'm super passionate about that.
Neat.
Oh, okay.
So I currently work for a vocational school that does like environmental training programs.
Cool. Okay.
We specialize in like wetland delineation. So we're
That's
doing
dope.
a lot of courses in that regard, and it's really cool. I really like it, and I'd love to get into environmental education later on in my career, and hopefully that's where I go with this impending move that we have.
That's so exciting. You guys aren't. You're moving. Where are you moving?
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And
Swamp country.
very soon too, right?
He's going sooner than I am, but it should be really nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And moving for a job and just new opportunities. Do you already have a new opportunity set up there?
I'm applying.
You're
I'm trying.
applying. Okay. Well, I mean, that's even more kind of exciting,
Yes,
you know? Have you
definitely.
guys moved? Are you from here?
Yeah, we're from up here. We met in college down in Wilmington. We moved back up here together. And so hopefully now that we're going to a different state, we can kind of learn a bit more, see how we adapt to the deep South.
The deep South. Okay. Yeah. Well, I've been to, I've never been to Savannah. I've been to Atlanta multiple times. It's a very, it's a fun
Savannah
vibe.
Diverse?
It's gotta be.
Right? I feel like
I think Atlanta's probably more diverse than Savannah.
Yeah,
probably.
I feel like it's a mix between like the black community with like old money white people. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So like a lot of like swamp people.
Swamp people.
It's like I feel like it's like Durham.
It's
kinda.
not Louisiana, buddy.
No, it's just got more.
Arkansas is swamp town.
You're right.
All
You're
of
right.
Arkansas is just one big swamp.
Are you from Arkansas? You're not from Arkansas.
No, I've just.
Sorry, but I like how Harry says it's like Duran, and he winks at the camera. He's like, that's how diverse it is.
So that's very surprising to me that you think Arkansas is swamp town. People go there to like climb mountains.
I think I'm trying to mobilize racism, dude.
I mean, it's pretty nasty down there. Like it's like one of the most humid places I've ever been in my entire life.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. So
okay.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah,
it sure does.
Are there a lot of trees down there? Like
in Arkansas?
In Savannah. Like I feel like I've only driven through Georgia, so I don't really know much about it.
It's very much like I don't know if you've been to Charleston.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's
mossy,
very Spanish moss.
Yeah,
live oaks.
So kind of like Florida, probably.
Yes,
quite a lot.
Also, I like that it's right by the beach. Because we used to live by the beach, and that was really nice to like when you're like super stressed out. You just go to the water.
Heck yeah.
And
So you guys are going to be living, do you already have that place set up? You're ready to go?
No, we do not.
That's exciting. Even more exciting.
It is. We literally had I got a little neurotic with her at the house.
Oh my God.
Because I thought we were about to get scammed because this person was like, hey, screenshot your credit score to us. And I was like, that's a little, right?
I was a little over trusting of someone on Craigslist.
You should not trust anybody on Craigslist.
Okay.
They will rent out houses that they don't even own.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
that's the road it was going down. It seemed okay at the start, and then it went downhill very quickly, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't. So
fair. Yeah.
Every day's a learning lesson.
Yeah.
It is.
Looking for a house is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
It is a pain in the ass.
Especially if you're not like buying and you're just looking for somewhere to rent because you're like, I don't know anything about this area. I don't know. Am I going to want to live here in 6 months? Like, that's such a hassle. Dude.
Yeah, we don't want to live in Savannah.
So, that's what's the plan then? If you're moving there,
we're looking to like find like a little suburb outside of it or something. Just a place where there's like a fence and like a place to park.
A place to park.
Yeah.
You guys are so bougie. A place to park. Oh my God.
I'm not a city person. I'm not a city.
You're not a city person.
I like a little bit of
not a street parker.
Yeah, no, not a street parker.
I had a neighbor that I did a little warring with. You ever had a neighbor you warred with?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're excited about it. Okay.
She gets fired up about neighbors she doesn't like.
Tell me, please. What, right now?
Well, it's not like I have beef with neighbors. I'm like from Fuquay, which is like we're pretty like spread out. Not very many people are close by. So like everyone minds their business. But now that we live in like downtown Raleigh, everyone is all up in your business at all of the time.
I hate it.
There is like this what is it? It's like a anonymous like reporting you can do for like any violations to city code. So when we were moving, we didn't have really any lawn care stuff that we could use. So like our lawn got like a little ratty
Yeah.
And immediately like the city came, they hit like a pink slip like on our door, and they were like, you have like 30 days to fix this or you're going to get a $500 fine. And it's because like neighbors just go around the neighborhood taking pictures and doing
and ruining your day.
Yeah, you could just knock on the door and be like, hey man, are you going to tighten that up?
Really? But
and the thing of it is I have lived in downtown areas before, and I know that the city in general is more strict about downtown. You know what I mean? Like if you live outside the city and you've got some nosy neighbors, it might take the city a month to come out there and be like, hey, you need to mow your lawn. But they don't fuck around about it in the city. You know what I mean? Because they want it to look nice.
Yeah.
So, and I get that. At the same time, neighbors do suck. I had a neighbor that came over to my house one time. I lived in a house and I had a dog, a Siberian Husky. His name was Dingo.
Screaming.
He was the best, dumbest dog. Oh, he was a sweetheart. My son's dog. So anyway, the neighbor comes over. I hadn't met her but one time. She was a relatively new neighbor renting the house next door to me. She comes over and she's like, hey, I'm just wondering if your dog's okay or if you're having trouble taking care of him. And I said, what? And I had my son with me. I was holding him. He was a baby. And then she goes, well, I've just noticed that he's just been getting really skinny. And if you're just having trouble feeding him, then we'd be happy to take him off your hands. And I said, what? And I'm looking at her and I start kind of laughing. And she goes, yeah, you know, I've been feeding him over the fence for weeks now. He's starving. And I said, what are you talking about? And then I had this moment where I was like, this makes so much sense. The other day I was out in the yard and there were beans on the ground over the side of the fence. And I was like, that's very strange. Why is there just a pile of beans on the floor? Why are there beans? You don't feed beans to a dog. No. And I started and I just went, and she goes, and I said, and I started laughing and I said, I'm not going to be giving my dog to you. Are you insane? Please quit putting food over my fence. And I actually did say it in a very laughing way. And she said, well, that's fine. I'll just call
animal control.
And I said, please do. Please, please do. I closed the door right in her face. And I was just like, did that just happen? What on earth? And animal control never showed up. And the thing of it is like, if you know anything about Siberian Huskies, they're very fluffy and full in the winter because they've got all that fluffy coat. And then when the summer happens, all that fur goes away and they look like scraggly little jerks. You know what I mean? They're not fluffy and adorable anymore. They look scraggly and sad. You have to take them to the groomers and make them look better.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or, you know, give them beans.
Right. They need more beans.
My Eastern European grandmother almost fed my dog, Charlie, chocolate syrup.
What? Why?
And I stopped my grandmother. Why was
she feeding him? She was like, I'd like you to die now, dog.
He just wants a sweet treat.
Yeah. I was like, Grandma, no. I like literally stopped her. Like, that's bad for the dog. And then she's like,
it can make them die.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, I've heard you have to give them a lot, but chocolate syrup seems like it would go down really easy.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know. I don't know why she almost did it. But
She's like, I put some in my dog's water every day.
No, they didn't have pets growing up. My parent, my mother did.
She's like, you want to bark at me, you little fuck?
Yeah, no,
She's the same set kind of grandma that like gives like infants Coca-Cola.
Kind of, yeah. Like she would yeah, it's just a little bit of Oxycontin, you know.
Helps them go to sleep.
Next thing you know, he's looking for scrap metal at 4 years old.
I knew a lady who used to give her kids Benadryl to make them go to sleep at night. And I remember when she told me, I was like, I don't think you should do that. I was a child. Like I was like 16. I was like, I don't think you should do that. Yeah. And she goes, oh, it's fine. It helps them sleep. And I'm like, I think you're drinking your children.
You really
Parenting back then was wild, dude.
What are you talking about back? Dare you?
Back in times of carriages and buggies.
So. Before they invented the steam engine. Yeah. It was like 20
before
years
iPhones
ago.
were around. Anything back then is before an iPhone to me.
You know,
that was
I
like
did
2006.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I got my first iPhone and I found it the other day. And I found out they're actually worth a ton of money. Mine still works. I just need a charger for it.
Nice. That's hard to find then. It's like finding a rare Pokemon.
Yeah, I need to find somebody else who has the charger. And I've got the phone and then we'll get together and, 60-40.
Oh.
You might just buy the charger off of them for like pennies. And then you get
whatever they know what they've got in this instance.
You know what? I know where you can find one.
Where?
Circuit City. They don't exist anymore.
Circuit City.
My dad has got some
probably. Your dad has all the wires, dude.
all of the cables. He's got them.
I have a little basket that I keep all my cables neatly tucked away.
He's got tubs, like Tupperware tubs of them.
Oh, really? That many wires? But he keeps them neat and tidy.
Sure.
That's good.
Sure.
My father is a hoarder and he saves wires that are cut, broken wires.
Good.
And then he just leaves them places.
Love that.
That's nice.
Love that for me. He lived with me for 3
space.
years. And then I told him, Daddy, you need your own house because I cannot handle this anymore.
Right.
He filled up my 2-car garage all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, no.
And that was with me throwing things away.
My grandmother was a hoarder and she had her whole house was like floor to ceiling cardboard boxes, or it was like completely surrounded with clothes, new with tags, artwork, and it was organized.
My dad's was not. Mine was more like, if you take one wrong step in this garage, something's going to come clattering down on you, and you're never coming out of there. You're going to die there.
Oh no.
And that's scary. Have you watched like the hoarders when they pull out like a cat and it's like been there dead? It's really sad.
If you ever want to feel good about yourself, if you ever look around your house and you're just like, I've got too much stuff, or I should really sweep my floors or something like that, just watch an hour of Hoarders. You will feel so good about yourself.
You know what I like?
And then you'll also want to scrub your house top to bottom.
Yes.
When I have extreme body dysmorphia, I watch 600 Pound Life.
Yes. It's so good for you.
Imagine like, you know what's weird? Imagine like the doctor like going home and like, you know, he has to like make a meal for his kids or whatever. And you just have to like, how was work today, Dad? He's like, I had to tell another guy to get a gastric bypass because he is too fat.
Well, actually, I would think that he would go home and just be like, we're eating vegetables for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. Yeah. Like only grilled zucchini.
We've never been to McDonald's
Here's your
ever.
kale juice.
Exactly. And the children are so emaciated and like, we just want
They need
hamburgers.
beans from your neighbor.
Yeah, we've been eating beans from your neighbor. Totally, yeah.
Probably.
So, Caitlin, have you watched any of our shows? I don't know if are you aware that you've come up in podcasts where Harrison's been on?
Really? I'm not. I'm blissfully unaware.
That's good for you.
Yeah. Try.
Okay, well, even better, Harrison. You know, as any guest on this show, there's a pad somewhere. If you want me to cut anything out, I will.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you, Arturo.
No, so a recurring segment on this has been that one, I think early on when Harrison came on, right? It was probably towards the beginning, maybe when you were still a guest. We asked him, I think, what he did, and he's like talking about what he does. Like,
I know where this is going.
Like, you know, I used to, I used to be in sales, but you know, that was making me not the type of person that I should be. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so your girlfriend made you quit your job, you know? Like, and he's like, well.
Which job? Which job is this?
The roofing job. What do you think?
I didn't make you quit.
I know you didn't.
It's just a recurring theme here.
I was miserable at this job.
Yeah, it's not like I put in your 2 weeks for you.
No, you didn't. And also, Arturo, I need to clarify. This business was failing. Like,
was it?
Yes.
So they
was
were
like
paying you appropriately, probably?
they were paying me okay, but I was like, they couldn't afford to promote me.
I see. Well, they really didn't want
They
to
couldn't. They
promote
couldn't
you.
afford to train me.
They told him that they were going to give him a higher position, like when he got hired.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just didn't do that at
Okay.
all. So it was kind of that.
They were shady.
They were shady. The manager, awful.
Manager.
What would you say the job was doing to Harrison's character or mood or behavior, you know, if you had to look back on that time?
He was really angry like, a lot of the time.
Did he ever
Angry about what?
I was.
Angry about
Okay,
what?
just checking.
No. Nothing like that. But like he would always come home like super stressed or like tired, exhausted, and like was like just like crabby.
He's like, I just want to play fucking video games. Get off my
And,
ass.
I would like to have social time with you because I like you.
Oh, I was also missing mics. I was like, that was a whole other thing too. I was missing mics. I would barely play ball, and plus, at some points, because like I would hear like golf clubs swinging, like when I would be like, hey, I just got a leak. We can inspect this house today. It's a 2-story. It looks really nice. All this other stuff. I'm trying to be like, yo, we're about to get paid on this, and like, oh, we're all out of the office. I was like, are you guys serious right now? Like, it is a work day. You know what I mean? It is from 11 to 7. You guys know I'm on it. Like, I don't stop until I get a lead. And then once I get a lead and once I get it inspected, I F off. I go play ball. I do whatever. But I started getting to a point where I would just like literally get a lead. And even if I wanted to get a second one, I wouldn't. I would just like go play ball at a park and carry and collect my hours.
So do you feel like you were just like, what was it about it that was so, it was just the lack of other people helping you out?
They were just not motivated. There were maybe like
lack of collaboration.
They were like, honestly, there were 2 dudes that were motivated to get leads, and the guy that like kept assigning leads to me for was like the least. There's definitely a pecking order in a sales team.
Sure. Yeah.
And the guy that wasn't, I felt sad about, but we got our house inspected by him.
Yes.
And he was dumb as a pile of bricks. I'm going to say that the most polite way possible. I wouldn't trust this guy to watch over my cat.
So wait, you guys let him inspect your house?
Just our roof. He
Just
never
our roof.
came inside the
Never
house.
came in the house.
But
Well, so why do you expect him to be like good at inspecting a
I
roof?
didn't book it.
I didn't book it. My boss is, you know what it felt like? It felt like getting, I played sports in the sense, I don't even care about this. I'm going to be like, my boss let this guy, it's like letting, all right, like let's say a coach is like, all right, we're putting our 12th man in the starting lineup. That's a bad idea. You know what I mean? We're putting the guy who shoots, 50% from the line and who averages 2 points a game. We're going to make him get 30 minutes
Now,
a game.
did your boss think that was the case, or was that your assessment of this dude?
You know what? And another thing that my boss would do, or we would play poker during the day sometimes. Like they would play poker. And I think I learned more about poker and gambling than sales at that point.
Yeah, it sounds like you
From
learned
him.
a lot about playing hoops,
Didn't they
like,
pick on him?
They picked on him a lot. I'm surprised
lot?
I'm surprised he didn't break.
Really?
I'm surprised I was the one that was like, I'm burnt out. I've had enough. Because I was thinking if I had a bad day, I shouldn't say his name. I'm glad I cut myself off here. So-and-so had it worse.
Well,
okay.
poor so-and-so.
What is a really bad day coming, like, by the way, and then we'll get into the suite. I want to get to know how you guys met. I don't know if we've asked Harrison that.
They met in college, silly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wilmington.
Wilmington.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
We met in college.
Yeah.
Was it a Shabazz dinner?
No,
We
we met.
It was
We
a
met.
swipe right and a swipe
Yeah,
left. if
we
you
met.
wanted
We
to-
met on the online arranged marriage Tinder.
Nice. So
What's
did we.
wrong with that? We met on Tinder. It's like
Yeah,
7 years ago,
exactly.
8 years ago,
Success.
something like that, right?
We're coming up on 4.
Hey,
we are.
Nice.
why are you down in it then?
Oh, that's what we tell his parents, or we tried to initially, and then
I
it
think they
slipped
found out or something.
Yeah, I let it slip that we bet on Tinder.
Yeah.
They're old. They don't understand. I'm sorry,
Respect.
Harrison's parents.
And Harrison, I would bring the mic like so it's right above your chest, like the center.
I
Is this
freaking
good?
told you.
No, because
And will
when
you
you
move
talk
yours
when you talk to the other side, you don't end
little
up talking to
closer
the
to
mic.
you?
Better.
Yeah.
So completely centered.
Is this good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. I know I move around a lot. I got ADHD. I'm all over the place.
No, but basically what I'm saying, so it's here. So if you talk this way or this way, the mic still catches
So
it.
you want it like
Oh, thank you.
pointed towards your mouth,
Yeah.
right?
Hello.
Don't touch it.
With your mouth, especially.
Please don't do that.
Can I
Just
scream
pretend
into it?
you were raised Catholic instead of Jewish.
Can I scream into it?
No.
Yeah.
No, this is not System of a Down. We're not having any screaming competitions.
So yeah, no. I back at that job. I just want to add on to it. They would gamble on my leads. So I was like,
Gamble
anyone
on
who
your
wins
leads?
this
What does that
hand
mean?
gets to get what's his name's inspection in Morrisville or whatever. I'd be like, man, you
fantastic.
guys, yeah.
You didn't like that? It sounds like a
It was
Like
fun.
a
It
great
was fun, but I
business.
know I couldn't move up. Like it was kind of a dead end. It was just like get more leads and then you get paid more. But other than that, you're not getting a bump in your commission. And I got no health insurance, so I had no benefits at this job. I was just still hoping I'd get
Benefits are
more
important,
money.
Yeah. We just need to get a better sales job, bud.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And he did.
And you did.
I had
You did.
Mazel.
big boy, dude. Glenn Ross over here.
Do you want this, Otero?
Oh yeah, I'll take some in a moment. But so tell me, what is it the thing that you love about sales?
I like earning my keep and also like betting on myself. Like I guess it's if for comedy it's the same way. I like winning people over. Like I know I can be an abrasive person sometimes, but I know I can win people over.
Yeah, I mean you won Dyson over.
You think so? I don't think so at all. I'm glad you brought his name up.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
Yeah.
You both are great. You know, it's perfect.
You also like to meet new people.
I do. I
like to talk?
I do like to talk. And I like new strategies in getting like leads or sales too. Because I'll give you an example. I started like knocking in like Cary or Morrisville area. And I don't know if you know this. There's a lot of Indians in Cary, and you have to speak like they speak Hindu and stuff like that. So I like learned like a couple lines in Hindu, like Namaste Apka Singh, which means like, hey, what's up? And they'd be like, oh, you know Hindi? And it's like, a little bit. I would, make some lie or whatever. Or just say like, I thought I'd look it up.
I gaslight them.
I gaslight. I manipulate them like a
Whatever it takes
sociopath.
to make that sale, you know. Like,
Yeah, I would, and you know, I would sit and talk because like a lot of it. Sometimes people want to watch you squirm, and I wouldn't give them that satisfaction. And I'd be like, "So what are we doing here?" Because I'd be like, you know, I could waste company time, or I could, you know, actually make something happen. To be like, "Look, you have missing shingles on your roof. I know if I got an adjuster out here, they would comp it."
Yeah. You're like, listen, I got these Mexican guys I picked up from Home Depot. They said that they can do shingles. You know, like,
I do shingles.
Trabajo.
That's a throwback to a previous.
Oh yeah, I don't think I don't
We
think
need
I
to make
told you
that
this story.
shirt. Artero, we need those little people. Trabajo.
Oh no! Or you get them on the podcast, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to pick up shingles from like Lowe's, and they were out at Lowe's. The
Asking
laborers
you for work.
asking me for work, and I was like, no, no. And I, you know, I had to bring him over to the office because we have to like still run the product over, but we don't actually install the shingles. We just sell it and like oversee the project.
I love that you're just getting shingles from Home Depot. It's not like you have like a supplier.
No.
You're just going to buy them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, it's the company
Very-
comps us for it.
Very, very professional.
It's
Yeah.
very unprofessional, this company, and that's why they failed. I think they're still like they still have like their home office, but the branch in Raleigh is it's kaput.
No. Well,
It's for the best.
goodness. Well,
It is for the
people
best.
need roofs.
Yeah.
Ruse.
Roofs?
Woofs.
What is the roofs? Is it roofs
They
or
will
roofs?
roof the roof.
It's
Roofs.
as my boss would say, rough.
Rough.
So, Caitlin, what was it about Harrison that first struck you? You know, like what made you swipe right? Did he? First of all, did he have any pictures of him playing basketball in his profile?
No. He had like actually like weird like business headshots.
I thought it was my LinkedIn profile.
Literally.
Yeah.
And he had something funny in your bio. I think it was like you wrote 6'5" Jewish American prince.
No, I lied about my height. I said 6'6". I know
you?
exactly. Yeah, I gave myself an inch.
Why?
Okay.
Just cause.
You're already tall. You don't have to
Exactly.
lie.
Why?
Just cause. You know, maybe
'cause.
some NBA scouts were on there. Who knows?
Okay.
Funnily enough, I kind of already knew who he was because he kind of dated my roommate in college.
Oh wow.
But I had never met him previously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That didn't work
smell
out.
the scent around when you got
She was a
Yeah,
she was a
his
strange
musk
individual.
when he peed in the corner.
Yeah.
She was a strange
Yeah.
individual.
Like-
Strange?
There's
Yeah.
some
You're the one
fucking
who peed in
socks
the
in the
corner?
living room.
What?
Who the fuck left them here? You know?
She was a strange individual.
How's
your roommate.
Wait, are you guys still friends?
No. This is a very strange
Because you slept
lady.
with her boyfriend, probably.
We didn't.
They didn't. That didn't happen.
No,
you were
Okay.
you were attempting to court her.
Weird. She was a weird lady. I'll just say that.
so?
Not really charming.
Why?
Not really. Just
She
you know.
was like very into like leading guys on.
Yeah, I
because
could
she
tell
really
immediately.
liked
She was
the
like,
Attention.
"Oops, I did it." No.
very
Very much
bad.
so. And the guy she used to date was a part of a fraternity I was rushing.
Yeah.
And this guy had a problem.
Oh.
So
And he also had the solution. It was also
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had like a weird like on again off again relationship
With this
with
individual.
that guy. And
Yeah.
I guess
Listen,
So she was also on
a guy
coke.
that has a lot of that has a lot of on again, off again relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
not
not
surprised.
the thing is like, so she had a coke problem too then.
Probably.
And her problem was she didn't have money for
Cigarettes are an
coke.
attractor.
I know of
Try some
things
coke.
that happened that they did together with that involved, and I wish I could unhear that because it was gross.
The thing of it is that if you're a girl and you don't have money for coke, but you have a coke habit, you should find somebody who has a coke habit.
Yeah.
Listen, we had
Oh,
Kristen, we had Kristen here in the podcast, and she says that we both from South Florida that. You know, if you're a girl, you don't care how much money the guy has, only if he has some coke, because everybody has money, you know?
It's true.
It's strange how many people do coke. One that we know, or not we know, but like
Used
We're
to.
not saying that she
too.
does, you know?
Yeah. And another thing, shout out who I've had on the podcast, Izzy was like telling me like a lot of people that were getting booked at good nights, like they like dangled coke in front of them that were like, hey, look, you know, if you come and perform at good nights, you know, there's
We'll give
a
you a
lot.
bump.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
Coke is used a lot in clubs. I've noticed
You're
the club
like
scene.
literally
You got to
burning-
make sure you get a good show.
I personally, yeah, there's a lot of people like cokehead openers and features that are looking to be saved by some like, weird headliner,
Interesting. So you met this charming fellow.
And
you're like,
this guy.
You've got great taste in women.
Yeah.
I think that we should move to Savannah.
For real.
Yeah.
So you wifed him up real big.
I'm trying. I'm
trying?
waiting to get wifed.
You're trying to get...
Yeah, I need to.
Okay, all right.
We
Trying
need
to get a bunch of little Freedmans
Friedman's.
running around.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you raise them
Little
Jewish?
nuggets. Oh, yeah. Would you?
I don't have a problem with
She.
it.
What's your
she-
denomination? Do you believe in
This
the
is
almighty
interesting.
man in the sky?
I'm agnostic.
Agnostic? Okay.
So I think there's something.
So she's going to hell.
There may be.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I really like learning about Judaism. I think it's a really beautiful
Sure.
culture.
Have you read the Torah?
No.
No, we have
I'm
one.
not
It's a little
I'm
dry.
not allowed to touch it.
Oh, word.
Though she is, but
Well, he
like,
could read it to you.
I can. Yeah.
That'd be romantic, right?
Yeah, she-
Oh, bedtime stories.
Bedtime story.
No,
You know, you
but
don't feel like you're after reading the Torah at night
it really gets you nice and ready for the
for sinning,
For sinner.
which is probably for the best because you're not supposed to be here anyway.
Yeah, right. But no, I think it's a beautiful culture. I like learning about it, and I wouldn't have a problem raising them Jewish, but they wouldn't technically be Jewish because I'm not Jewish.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You wouldn't convert for me, baby.
no, I don't. I don't have the time for the classes. I have to ask 3 times.
What if you said, listen, I would wife you up if you converted?
Oh, I feel like that's a major deal breaker because I've had that like used against me in previous relationships.
Oh yeah.
Judaism?
But
No,
no.
no,
already
just
converted
I was gonna
to
say,
it
how many
before.
Jews have you dated?
To be fair, this guy also had kids.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
What?
it was like he was like surrounded by his family, so like he was really leaning into his Christianity and was like, I want to go into minister school. And like I was like, okay, I'm not into that, but I respect your choice.
This dude was like really short and looked like
And-
Charles Manson. But that's an off topic.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Well, you
No,
gotta shit on
we
him a
know
little.
that Harrison has this hype supremacy thing.
He
It's
really
not news to us.
Oh yeah, I do. I am a white supremacist. Yeah.
So
But he basically towards the end of our relationship was like, well, I don't want my kids to like, what did he say? He said something to the effect of like, well, I want my kids to go to church and I don't want them to come back to me to say, oh, well, I don't want to go to church because mommy doesn't have to. And I was like, that's a really fucking shitty thing to say, A. B, that's an unrealistic conversation to ever have with a child.
I don't know if that's true. I said it to my dad on multiple occasions.
Did you?
Yes. I mean, well, I said it about my dad. My dad didn't go to church. And I used to say to my mom, Dad doesn't go to church. Like literally, I said that every single one of us. And you know what she said? You're going to church anyway.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the conversation that you
Yeah.
have with children when you
Yeah.
get to be able to make them do whatever you want them to do.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And I do think that religion can be an effective tool, you know, in raising children. There are other things that are good tools to raise children, like other books.
Sports.
Okay.
Well,
Are there any
maybe.
loopholes in Judaism, like in Catholicism?
Yes.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Dude, the Shabbos goy.
No. I'm saying
That's a
like,
big loophole though.
Oh, they're all about
I
those
mean the type
loopholes.
of loophole where you can do whatever the fuck you want all your life, and if you're really sorry
on
at the end, you
Saturday.
say sorry, you're Gucci. You know.
I'm just trying to think. Like,
Well, but if you're just Jewish, you just get to
Well-
keep being Jewish. You get to go to the purgatory no matter what.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
There's no like.
Because I'm biased, but I think
heaven or hell.
Catholicism is like it's a pain in the ass up front, but it's like the chill is on the back end because you can do whatever you want.
But
you
his
know?
is even more chill because he's just born into it. He
Yeah.
gets to be
Yeah.
Jewish.
No, but remember he said that he always is worried about what God, if he's pleasing God or not.
Well, if
that
God
he feels bad.
if
you
God
know?
cares, well, that's because of what his parents did to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of our parents do it at different varying degrees in different
Yeah.
varying religions.
Yeah.
And it just happened to poor Harrison a little
Yeah,
more
it's
than others, buddy.
it's just like a big brother situation. I think having the fear of God, because would you rather fear God or your government? I feel like that's
Yes.
that's a Casa de thinking. Yeah, that's a serious question I want to pose to people. Like, would you rather fear God or government?
I mean,
Because I'd rather fear
There's
God.
a separation of church and state, darling.
the thing of it is like the government's going to get you no matter what. It's
Yeah.
death and taxes. You know what I mean? The government's coming for you.
And that's why we need to overthrow it.
Where were you January 6th?
Catch me for all your January 6th needs. Riot gear.
I think it was mostly feds. That's what I've been listening to. Is most like the leader of the Proud Boys was a federal operator.
Like you think
Get
like
the
they
heck
had
out.
plants?
Yeah, like it was like
they
some
had
it was like some
plants or-
Hispanic. It was actually some Hispanic dude. I forget his name. I gotta look him up again.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh,
but
the
were
Proud
they-
Boys. The leader of the Proud Boys was a like Hispanic. I think it was like a Cuban guy, but he was an FBI placeholder. Yeah, he was an FBI agent. Yeah,
Get the heck
dude,
out.
I hate the FBI.
Do you?
Yeah.
Probably. No, I did probably no.
Because they're tracking you.
Because
They're watching you.
because they're tracking me, and I've talked about this.
Yeah. Because you try to join the Mossad.
Yeah, they rejected me, so they're like,
Do you
he
think
could be a
that
threat
you
to the
actually
state.
Got
you
MK
know.
Ultra, maybe. Do you
think-
think it's possible that
I've got
you
MK
didn't
Ultra?
actually shit your pants, that it was actually all a psyop, and that your inherent distaste
living
for
the
the
Truman Show,
FBI
babe.
is actually programmed because
That's
people
why
already
you
been
guys are moving
programmed
to
on that.
Savannah. There's a reason.
I hope so.
It's been scripted for us.
And I'm right by an Air Force base. I think I might be a sleeper agent, but if I am, I'm the shittiest sleeper agent. I am the most
You're the
out of shape.
sleepiest.
I am.
You would have the funniest, like, what is it, code phrase or like whatever
What
activation phrase?
stand by, stand down.
I don't know. It's something ridiculous.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, well, it's a perfect cover, right? Because you're like, yeah, I don't drink or smoke too much, you know. I don't really get out of bounds because I had this haunted past where it just went bad, right? And it actually doubles as a cover as well because guess what? I can stay zeroed in, but it's the marketing and the reality. You know how
I haven't
what's
staged.
it like?
I haven't staged any coups yet, Arturo. All right, I just want to be very clear about that. Okay, and
Yet.
yeah.
So you guys met in college. You decided to move to Savannah under very normal circumstances.
Yes,
Very
very
normal,
normal
Very,
circumstances.
very, average circumstances.
clandestine,
And you're excited to move down
operations.
there.
Very excited.
And you're applying for jobs. So you guys have been together for 4 years.
Yes, we have.
Almost.
Very boring life.
A very boring. No, I want to hear about the highs. What were the highs? How did you know that you wanted to have this little,
I'll tell you when I wanted to know I wanted to stay with her.
You take that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So she had a very toxic roommate. A very
I got
A
plenty of
toxic
dated?
college roommate, a
Yeah.
toxic regular roommate. What's going on with you and roommates?
I feel like
just attract them. I don't know
He's
what it
not
is.
toxic though.
No, but just-
Non-toxic. He's like a Crayola crayon.
That's why I kept him.
Okay?
Very
Play-Doh.
sweet.
You could
thank
eat
you.
as much as you wanted to.
Thanks, Beans.
You're welcome.
Beans.
Yes.
I said.
To tell your tale.
Let's hear it.
I'm so happy that I got to say that on camera and mic. Beans is from a time when I had to make her like, can you make me a snack? I think you said that. Can you make me a snack? And I was like, sure, whatever. And there was like,
Just beans on a plate.
yeah, just straight up
baked
beans.
beans on a
I
plate.
gave her like beans on a plate.
What like
Like
refried
baked beans.
Like baked
Like
beans?
baked beans.
Did you put them in the microwave?
Yeah, oh no,
you
I
cooked
heated them
them.
up on a stove. Yeah,
Cooked
and it
them.
just.
But
yeah, I
imagine
cooked
you just receive a plate of beans.
That's so funny.
Isn't that an
That's very
unsettling
funny
sight?
because I told
That's
Arturo,
psychotic, dude.
like it's been months ago now. But I was like, he was like, I'm so hungry. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm already making something. He goes, oh, that's great. You're cooking. Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
And I came out and I had this bowl of beans and rice, like rice with black beans, and I put
Nice.
garlic and cilantro and all
Nice.
this
Okay,
kind of
cool,
delicious stuff. I was so pumped about it. It smelled so good. And he was like, what the fuck is this?
That's a staple meal. Like for a lot
Yeah,
of places,
that's
it's a
why,
staple
why are you
meal.
upset then that he brought you
It's
beans?
like ramen with a fried egg in it. Like that's
right?
pretty good.
That's it's so delicious.
It's a
Black
good-
beans with rice.
No,
So
no,
you were
what
bummed
really-
about
what-
your baked beans.
Yeah.
What really was upsetting is when she's like, "Oh, I got a treat for you," and she brings me fucking celery, peanut butter, and raisins on top of it.
Oh, and son of law, that's some corny
God.
shit.
And
What's
some
wrong?
things-
It's a classic.
That's some gringo shit, isn't
It's
it?
garbage. Shit, indeed.
Some goy shit is what it is.
That is some goy shit,
I
yeah.
came from Peru for this fucking peasant food. You know?
That is goy slop, to be fair.
It's so good. good. And it was with almond butter, not even peanut butter.
Ooh, fancy.
Right?
Very
That's
nice.
like
Yeah.
peanut butter's actually, I mean, it is.
It's not natural. It's got seed oils in it.
Well, whether or not it's natural,
Gotta get the the one where you
super
stir.
good for you.
Yeah, you gotta
It
stir
has
it.
a lot of salt, a lot of.
Yeah, you gotta get
other
the stirring
fats that are
kind, the
not-
one with oil in it on the top.
Listen,
Well,
you
just
guys
eat
have
almond
been
butter.
born into peanut butter. Peanut butter does not exist in Peru.
Does it not?
Really?
So, yeah. So
Same in Israel. They don't have it.
Same in Germany. They don't have it.
Yeah. So
Are you
it's
from
like,
Germany?
It's almost like, you know, people in other countries.
I've
are
checked your
wishing they
ancestry,
knew what
don't
peanut
worry.
butter tasted like.
I was gonna say, are you dating a Nazi?
Yes.
Yeah, she lets me
Yes.
sleep in the attic. We actually don't sleep in the same bed. I have to go upstairs.
For a lot
While
of
our family
reasons.
looks around the property.
Her family comes to inspect.
Yeah.
You live alone still, right?
Yeah.
She's like, this makes me uncomfortable.
So what are the next? We'll ask you, Caitlin. What do ideally? What do the next 2 and 5 years look like in your journey? Professional, moving to Savannah. What does it look like?
Well, I hope I have a job.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be nice.
I found a really cool job at EPA that I'm hoping to apply for. I would love to work for somebody like a big environmental company
Yeah.
or nonprofit.
Heck
Do that.
yeah.
I'd love to be married.
Working on some little Friedmans.
Maybe we'll push that off a little bit. I'd like to be married to you for a little bit, just so we
Fair.
know who we are outside of dating.
Okay.
I think we have a pretty good idea, but
Yeah, he's like, I didn't know that the Jewish thing was a deal breaker until right now.
No. I knew
we've
that
talked
she.
about that.
Yeah, like I know my kids could convert if they
Yeah.
wanted to. So it's not like it's a complete deal breaker.
We give him the idea. Say, fuck it, both
Yeah.
of you convert to another religion like Islam or something. You know.
You guys
We
should just
should.
wild card.
That would be weird.
Scientology.
I have a
called malicious obedience or something, like malicious compliance or something.
What? What's that?
It's like where you're compliant with something that somebody is asking you. Like it comes up in customer service jobs pretty often, but you do that maliciously. Like you'll just be passive aggressive about it. So like, I want to speak to your manager, and it's like, oh, well, they're really just going to tell you the same thing that I just said. And they're like, but I still want to speak to a manager. And it's like, okay, let me do that for you. I'll go and get them. And then they turn around and they're like, I'm the manager.
I think we do really well in
everybody
a
does
cult.
that, don't they?
I think
So for some people, they like to mess around with like shitty Karens and stuff like
I
that.
was gonna say, I think that's a perfectly appropriate response
Yeah.
for somebody
she's
who's over the top.
We're both like masters of customer service. Her more than I.
I try to be.
Yeah. Oh no! What makes me laugh like my ass off is anytime she gets a voicemail for her work, and there's some
some weird
crazy
ones.
person. Like,
Oh, let's hear it. Yeah.
okay, I want to give a little context ahead of this. Her work is also a magic school.
A magic school.
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
What? Are you serious?
So my boss is like really into magic. He's really
What
into
the
magic.
fuck?
Yeah.
And he was like, I've always wanted to have my own magic store. And we were like, work, king, go off, do it. So he like has our like work phone set up to redirect calls like for the store. And it was like 2-3 weeks ago maybe that somebody called.
Oh, somebody called and said I magically turned into a toddler,
And I can't turn myself back.
And I'm wearing
He was
diapers,
like,
and I would
do
not.
you have a potion or a spell I could use? And I was like, what?
Was he serious?
He was
Yes.
dead serious. I think, or I don't know
And
what.
it wasn't a sex thing. Like it was.
It could have.
It
I
might
had
have
a speculation.
Yeah. Any man in a diaper that's under 60 years old, it is a sex thing.
I don't know. I've recently discovered there's somebody at my office that wears a diaper.
Really?
Yeah,
Because they
I'm
need
sure
to, or
it's
because
like-
they want.
Are they
I
successful
assume it's
corporate
I
wise?
don't actually know. I mean, it's not like I asked them, but yeah.
It doesn't come up at the water cooler.
I don't know which one of them wears it. I've been.
That's something
I have,
that-
I have my
yeah.
suspicions.
That's something I
definitely
worry about.
have my suspicions.
That's something I worry about, and I don't think it's gonna ever be a problem with.
Incontinence?
No, but like you know how like corporate people like make a lot of money and they need like some dominatrix to step on their balls for $100 an hour. Like I know that'll never happen.
You're
to me.
worried about it'll happen to you?
No, I'm just. It's a very weird irrational fear of mine.
You
that
have
it would
the-
happen to you.
Yeah, if that would happen to me, because I know a lot of
Very
these.
unique situation.
Yeah.
that consensually put yourself into.
Yes.
those.
Yes.
So I don't know why you have this fear.
I have a lot. I have a lot of irrational fears, though.
It's
Yeah.
funny because
And you
I
just
really
explore
like it,
them.
and I like that you know about this because
Yeah.
we talk about this. Harrison has a lot of irrational
I'm very neurotic.
fears.
It's a part of my culture.
I guess. But the thing of it is like you have just
Oh Jesus! What if I get sexually attracted to whatever?
Toasters? He's afraid
I
of what his parents might have like contained within him, and they can unleash at any moment.
That's the sleeper agent that interacts, or that
That's why you're afraid.
Yeah.
Do you you remember like in X-Men
trigger.
when Professor Xavier makes Jean Grey suppress all that stuff
Yes.
and then she turns into the Dark Phoenix and just eviscerates everything? Are you worried about that?
I've never seen X-Men.
Well, no, this supports our-
He's like, I don't understand your reference.
this supports the MK
That's for
Ultra
nerds.
theory,
How dare you? She got it.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison, we still can't be certain that you haven't been MK Ultra.
You know what, man? That's why Juanon had to end, dude. It's a shame. They found out about
your
me.
Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, hundreds
I
of
never
people-
talked about chemtrails on my pod. I don't know if I believe them or not. I haven't done any research.
They're probably real.
You think so?
I mean, for the sake of this podcast, yes.
Okay. I don't know anything about them.
Well, as an environment, so I went to school for geology, but so
cool.
there's a little bit of overlap. But what trauma did you suffer that you wanted to save the environment?
I don't know what it was specifically. Well, actually, I have a more real story in that I started out as a marine bio major because
Okay.
I really love the ocean.
You
It's
love
a nice
George
place.
Costanza.
George
Oh yeah, he was a marine biologist.
Was he a biologist?
I'm a marine biologist.
He also wanted to be an architect.
He did want to be an architect, but he
A man of
actually
many
tried to
passions.
sell.
Yeah.
He tried to save that whale, though.
Yeah. He also worked for a nonprofit.
He did
the Human
didn't
Fund.
he?
The human.
Sorry,
fund.
so you wanted
Sorry,
to
I'm
be a
sorry,
marine
we're good, we're
I wanted
good.
to be
biologist.
a marine biologist, and then I took like 2 semesters of my freshman year, and I was like, I'm really bad at marine biology. So I was like, what kind of science where I still get to like feel like I'm doing well has the least amount of chemistry that I will have to apply? Environmental science. Let's do it.
And it's still
Heck yeah.
STEM. Like
It is STEM.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's
I
still
was
STEM?
talking.
That's
I was talking.
absolutely STEM. What are you talking about?
It's still STEM.
I was talking with like Nick
You're
Stilley,
very impressive.
and he was yeah.
Don't
I,
listen to him.
I felt no. I felt like I was the one that had the BS major in college
What was
because
your-
I was a first generation college student.
Yeah, what was
So
your major?
It's like international relations. Yeah.
It wasn't
Are
communication.
you going to solve the
I thought
the crisis in the Middle East?
I thought I was.
I would tell you about something, but I
Tell me.
can't.
Hit me with
No,
the facts.
I can't.
You have a
One.
younger sister, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh
no, you're an only child. You're
He's
Yeah,
an
I'm an
only
only
child.
child.
What are
Yeah,
you
I'm
talking
an
about?
only
It's a recurring
you wasted your
theme.
parents' shot.
I did.
Well, they're not immigrants, so he's
They're
not worried
yeah,
about
well,
it.
Technically, like
didn't have the
third
immigrant mentality,
generation.
you know?
My grandparents were immigrants, so we're
Yeah.
fine. They made a living,
Yeah.
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 They're vibing. They're chilling.
Kenny and Debbie are fine. They're
Penny
okay.
and Debbie.
Yeah, they
Aw.
just got a new dog, and it is terrified of everything.
Everything.
It's Jewish.
It's like one of our.
It is a joke.
It's a good Jewish boy.
Oh, no, it's
But we're gonna miss you, man, and
shame.
it's gonna.
I'll
be-
miss
Very
you guys
much,
too.
yeah. I'm curious though, outside of, environmental science, what are your passions? What do you like to do?
So I also have a degree in theater. So
Ooh.
I specialized in stage makeup. So I really love to do any kind of makeup for a production that I can.
Heck
Do you ever
So
make
yeah.
him up? Do you ever do?
She
some
did.
content
She used to.
around-
Yeah.
yeah, I did a couple of short films with my friend from college, and
Not
we
the
did a lot
roommate
of
from
cool
college?
stuff. Sorry.
Not the roommate from college.
Nah, she
no,
was
God no,
strange.
God no.
Do you think that when you move to Savannah, that Harrison's gonna be able to heal his old friendship with Eric?
Oh no, we've kind of smoothed it over.
Such an
Yeah, okay.
interesting. Yeah, they've smoothed it over.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can't quit him.
you can't.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
No, we were because you were very broken up about it that day, so I'm glad that you were able to smooth it out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
he was
we're-
here. He's here.
we're like, I'm literally seeing him tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
we're-
Like,
What's up?
we're going to
We're
our
fine.
we're Zionist Pride rally tomorrow.
we are.
Yeah, apparently it's Israeli Independence
Are you
Day tomorrow.
serious?
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
just-
Independence Day.
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Fuck out of
I'm gonna get like
Who
a
were they
shawarma
independenced from?
Where
from
is the rally?
fucking.
Where is the rally? Tell me.
I guess like the Brits. I guess you
Yeah.
would say.
That's
yeah,
so funny because they've been independent, like freed from so many
Yeah,
people.
they've been
Like,
independent.
who are we celebrating? Their independence.
I hope you
from?
got that. I hope you zoom in on that.
Yeah, no, we're recording all feeds.
Good.
So what happens at this rally?
It's not a rally. It's
It was
just
like
A rally and
celebration.
rally.
I think your mom said like games of some kind.
It's for like it's
food
kind of for kids, but there's
trucks.
food trucks and there's shawarma. That's what I'm excited for.
Where's it at?
Yeah, where's it?
It's
We
in
should
Raleigh.
go.
It's from like 2 to 5. I'll
When,
send you the
today
address
or
or
tomorrow?
something.
Yeah, send
It's
us the
tomorrow.
address.
Heck
We
yeah,
might be
we wanna go to
recording.
that.
You should. You
No,
should. You wanted to do like an undercover, like
We
to
did.
see what.
That's what I'm thinking. We
It
should
would have been.
go.
Now
We're
you can go.
invited.
Now you can go. Like for Shabbos, it's super disrespectful if you like film or
No,
something
no, no.
like that.
What
But
are you gonna
it'll be
do?
passed.
But it'll be passed because it's like Sunday, so you'll see. You can ask Jews or Zionists mostly, because not all Jews are Zionists.
What's
yeah.
the difference between a Jew that's not a Zionist?
If you ask his mother.
Oh.
Is your mother a Zionist?
Very much
Yeah.
so. It's this is so weird. It's kind of like colonialism for Jews. It's like the
Okay.
belief in like a
more
Jewish state.
patriotism.
It's the belief in an ethno state.
Yeah.
Technically, like all people are gonna, like
Socially acceptable.
essentially because you go on
It's not that. It doesn't seem.
you go on the narrative like, oh, Jews are oppressed and we have to bulldoze Palestinian homes because Holocaust.
like if we did some man on the street stuff and we went, Andy and I went out there that day and asked people, if there was a war between Israel and the U.S., which side would you fight for? Do you think?
U.S.
Tell me?
It's a lot of people say we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
You're an American Jew. You're an American first. You're like a Jew. You're a Jew second.
Yeah.
Do you like as an immigrant, Arturo? Do you consider yourself American first and a Peruvian second?
I consider myself an American.
You have citizenship here, right?
So,
You have citizenship here, right?
But you're
yes, but I thought you were going to say
Peruvian.
about Peru, but the U.S. doesn't recognize technically double citizenship. You can have it.
Okay.
But as far as the
Other
U.S., it's only you
countries.
can't quit it technically, and you do that when you take your citizenship test. And it's part of like being born home.
You have to renounce all other countries.
Really?
citizenships.
Dang.
Yeah. So my mother is from England, and she had a British passport for a long time, but she got rid of hers. So. But yeah, it's interesting that other countries, will accept it, but not America. No, in America, if
weird.
you're an American, you better be an American.
Yeah.
You will only
Yeah.
be allegiant to our country. And I think I wonder if it had to do with a lot because so many of us were immigrants.
Probably.
You know?
Maybe, yeah.
Hey, no, you're here now and you need to be an
You
American.
gotta throw away your
That's
whatever.
weird.
citizenship.
I don't
I didn't
know.
know that because my aunt, she was born in Italy and she could have had dual citizenship.
She still can.
And I think, isn't it like you have to be like 21 or
Jennifer?
something?
Jennifer's the.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was like you could accept it until like you're 21 or something like that. I don't know.
Except what? Oh, in
Like,
Italy?
I don't, maybe.
Not in America.
You-
In
you
America,
get- you
you
get-
can't be dual citizenships. Other countries.
You
will
can get
really-
citizenship in Ireland if you had like a grandmother that was Irish or great grandma.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is that you can have dual citizenship as a person, but the United States does not recognize you as a dual citizen.
Wow.
The U.S.
Exactly.
Can you still vote in the U.S. though? Are you still
Yes.
allowed to vote? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and that's why it recognizes that your taxes earned overseas as taxable income because you are only a U.S. citizen. In the US.
Exactly. So any money you make anywhere.
Cool.
It gets taxed, which is why a lot of like celebrities, when you hear them say, I'm renouncing my U.S. citizenship, is because they want to go move somewhere else and they can keep all their money for themselves.
Yeah, not be taxed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not be taxed twice. 'cause
I think
if
this
you
is the
make
best
Yeah.
money in
country to
another
be
country.
rich in, though. I will say,
Why do you say that?
man, because I see, living in Israel, I see like how like wealthy people live, and it's not like it's still tight quarters,
I get what you're saying.
and like.
Yeah.
Was like I heard an awful statistic the other day, and plus there's a revolution going on in Israel because the Likud party takes over. I can yap all about that, but like basically the old prime minister is trying to control the Supreme Court, and people are already upset because like 68% of the population is below the poverty line. 68, like that's more than half. That's almost a quarter.
Yeah.
Of the population that is like living not just paycheck to paycheck on government assistance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I feel like to live in be wealthy in like a really poor country is not the move for anybody. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care renouncing your
Well, what
citizenship.
if you're rich enough in another country to buy a house in America?
That's the goal, to buy property in America. That's the first thing immigrants do here when they come to this country is buy property.
Yeah.
Like
There's
that's
lots
what
to
I've
have.
noticed.
More
At least.
ones,
Yeah.
like this is the thing, this is a different, like, and maybe there's some of that, like perspective of thing is that, and I don't know if, I don't even know if it's generational or I don't know if it's after reaching a certain age, right? Because like even when we were talking earlier, like the shit that's coming out of sometimes Andy and my mouths is like, oh, I remember what it's like to be you hearing these words coming out of somebody else's mouths, right? And like I used to march for a lot of shit when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, right? And it's not like, a belief in the cause, but it's kind of like that movie, you know that movie with the feelings?
Oh, Inside Out.
Oh, yeah.
Inside
Yeah.
Out, right? Like, at least in my experience, right, and maybe Andy can corroborate, is things are so much more complicated than a single emotion.
Yeah.
That there are really things that there are no solutions. It's really trade-offs. So all of a sudden, it's like, and I think sometimes that's the
Freedom
thing
ain't
that
free
doesn't get
either.
across the aisle that somebody might be saying that it's like putting like a finger on one side. But it's like a spinning plate, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that solves that, but some stuff shifted over here, right? And then another person's so sure, well, this is the solve, but have you considered what else is shifting and the people that care about that thing shifting? Like you might not care, you might only care about this point, right?
But in order to get to that point, other things in the background have to happen in order to get there.
Exactly, right? So it's all trade-offs, and it's one of those things where I forget where it initially started. Where did we initially start?
I've lost my place.
But basically that it's
Being in America and being
this is where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
Like this is where like even Peru is a Catholic country, right? Even the freedom to speak whatever language you want, to do whatever the hell you want. Like in many other countries, there's one main city or a few main cities. Here, you can reinvent it yourself in every fucking state if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could just go. It's like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna go to another state where they need to where there's a lot of coffee shops, like in San Francisco, or a lot of places where there's like a lot of rap battles, or like the city, or like there's a lot of healthcare industry in this other city, and there is a lot of like the. Like, this is one thing this is the one thing if I was to synthesize it. Growing up in another country, right? Like you get told that the only way that you can go forward is through certain professions, and maybe if there's limited cities, only certain industries. So the world becomes very small. The paths to success or wealth or be able to self-actualize is very limited to certain channels. I think here in the U.S., for all our bad things that we may have, right? Like there is the opportunity to self-actualize in something, and even if you don't get wealth, to pursue that happiness, the thing, and we sometimes make the bad choices and whatnot. But I think the U.S., even if kind of like poorly managed, right? You could have a very good, like powerful computer and architecture, and all your files all over the place. You downloaded viruses onto it. Does not change that the framework is there to be incredible. And just because of mismanagement, there's no need to tear it all down.
Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, end of argument. That's more for reality as a suggestion. But be proud to be American. Be proud to be white. Not too proud, but
Not too proud. Yeah. So you have passions outside of work, though, other than environmental science?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very simple. So, like, my passions are, like, thrifting. Like, I like
What's wrong with that?
recycling.
Why is that simple?
I like recycling. Like, I'm just very, like, I'm very work focused. Like, I kind of get that from my mom. So I kind of take...
You shouldn't be mad. You're young. You need to build your career right now so that later on you can pursue your passions.
Right.
She's not an unmotivated person. I wouldn't be with someone who's unmotivated at all.
No.
So what would you say your passions are outside of environmental science, though?
I don't know. Like, I just really like being a really good person. Like that's what I think is simple. Like I don't, and that ties into my environmentalism. So I can't say that I have something outside of it because it's tied into a lot of things.
Well, that's cool. You're pursuing your passion already with what you're doing. That's really neat. That's great.
I'm really passionate about environmental justice, which is just like fair treatment of everybody should have access to clean water environment. They shouldn't be disproportionately placed in areas that have higher pollution. Like I think that's a totally messed up thing that happens every
like Flint, Michigan.
Exactly, that's a great example. Or the train wreck that happened in Ohio. That's a huge example.
And not the first time in that area, from what I understand.
Train, right?
Yeah. American like railroads and transportations are like hilariously like mismanaged.
Are they? Well, I'm not surprised because there's a lot of things that I learned about. They do it in a very archaic, very antiquated kind of way, like even their bookkeeping and things like that. It's very, very, very back in the Stone Age sort of thing, where it's just like everybody forgot that trains kind of run our country. You know what I mean? We need them.
I think truck drivers are a little bit more regulated than trains
I would
are.
absolutely 100% agree because it's like, okay, because of some additional ice melting and whatever, you don't have people monitoring these tracks?
Yeah, and like, I mean, I think with the train wreck that happened, it was like a loose wheel or something like that.
Oh, it contributed to it? Okay.
That's why I think just the load of the train, like the wheel bearing popped. And
they won't even let my plane take off if a panel appears to have, whatever.
Exactly.
No, that's exactly what I want, though.
Yeah.
But side note, though, have you been on a train before?
Oh, I love a train.
Very fun. It's so fun.
Oh my God, a bullet train. I love.
I've never been on a bullet train.
So fast.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Bullet Train?
No, I've not. I've heard good things about it though.
It's quite good. We didn't have high hopes because sometimes things are garbage, but it was good. It was a good watch. You'll be happy.
Do you ever help with your theater background? Do you ever help Harrison with his skits? Like, do you ever film him?
I feel like we were talking about this on the way over actually, because he tells a lot of like my stories that I tell him.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And he like
that's very
manipulates
funny.
them to his whatever stand up. Or
I definitely am swiping because unless she starts doing stand up, then like.
We talk about that. He said, I just hope you know that I will be using this and I will be saying it's me.
Everybody use her, if she wants to use her jokes, great. But guess what? You can always be like, my girlfriend, has this,
I should, yeah.
I feel like we like live in a constant state of like riffing with each other, like
that's
just
good,
very
though.
Naturally. So like we have very colorful conversations like all the time.
That's so
she sends me memes and she makes memes one time because there was this.
Oh my God.
You make memes?
This is not professionally.
No, that's the whole great part. What are you talking about? Not professionally. No meme is professional.
It's amateur. So one of the guys that I wanted to, I think I talked to you about this. This is why I named one of the podcasts Incel ASMR, because I asked a guy.
People love that title.
They love that title. Yeah. It blew
Shout out to the name, not the person. Because I was like, hey, would you like to be on Juanon? And he was like, nah, I don't really care. And he's like, what? Okay, I was wondering, hey, is there any by chance you're looking for a guest for Incel ASMR? And he said, no, I don't want any open mic hacks on my podcast. I was like,
on a podcast named Incel ASMR.
Yeah, he's like, are you trying to big dick me here, dude? Go fuck yourself.
There's somebody that has a podcast called Incel ASMR.
Yeah, it's perfect for me. Yeah, target market right here.
Is it in Raleigh?
No, I think
it's in like Canada, the loser country.
Where all the incels come from.
Maybe people are looking for that podcast.
Maybe they were looking for what?
That podcast, and that's how they found out.
Yeah, they found me and said, baby.
Copyright infringement.
Gooanon. Yeah, then what are they going to do? Sue me?
Did you say Gooanon? Because I think that we should, when you're gone, we'll come up with a new podcast and it will be Gooanon. It's just going to be just nonsense.
I got it. You guys do an off-brand thing called Goyanon.
There you go. Perfect.
And then I can't do shit about it. And then you do whatever the fuck you guys want to do.
I'll put a cross in the background,
You know what? You should get like a Viking helmet on every episode. I think that'd be good. And face paint.
God.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
A little fur pelt.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
We've got
Alex,
bunnies.
Did you know that Harrison was leaving?
I did.
Yeah?
Are you going to miss me?
You over there in the corner crying?
Yes. Did you get my text?
What? No.
Damn it! It was supposed to be super funny.
Yeah, Harrison forgot that he was on camera while he's texting away. You know, show, you know.
Trying to do something for a bit, but it's past now.
So are you gonna continue comedy when you're down there?
Oh, yeah.
Probably not. I want to be a fucking productive member of society.
Bum, bum, bum.
What?
Yeah, no, I still
Reinventing
want to do. I still want to do
Harrison.
side projects and stuff,
You
but
still
like,
want a podcast.
I still want a podcast, and I kind of want to capture this white whale of recording an hour and then quitting for sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't see myself doing stand up for much longer. I could not be like a headliner person in the scene.
Okay, tell me
like,
what is this about stand up that it's crazy because I've met you as a stand up, you know?
Yeah. And I don't, you know, I don't know. I feel like I've been doing it for a while, and plus I want to have a family, and I don't want to be like a dad comic. Like I don't want to be like, sorry son, or sorry daddy has to go do fucking 5 minutes at the fucking hopscotch bar or whatever. That's sad to me.
What
That's-
it is?
to me, yeah.
What are you talking about?
You
By
also-
then, you're gonna blow up, man. What happens? Why would you not say that?
It would have already come by then. But I don't know. The industry would have
You're
come for me already.
25 years old. What? He acts like he's like
an old
he's
soul.
85.
You know
You
what's
know
so
what I
funny?
mean?
Because we recently
If
just
I'd
had-
have done this, I'd have happened by now.
Because we just had a guest that's actually also moving somewhere else. That he's like, yeah, what's my 2 to 5 year plan? You know, continue making this content. You know, I feel like I'm about to, you know, like blow up. You know, so it's a very odd,
Very
contrast.
different,
Yeah.
contrast for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And I feel, and I,
You guys are the same age.
and
I think.
the people that are advancing, I don't want to sound too mean or too like I would never pay. Like they're very NPC-ish to me. Her and I have talked about this. Like
Very
it's like, yeah,
normie.
these are the people that are advancing over, and this is at like like Dead Crow, the old
very
club.
normal.
But the thing of it is Harrison, that's
Yeah.
what their version of
Yeah,
success looks
exactly.
like.
And it's
Why
not
do
mine.
you have to measure yourself by their version of
I
success?
used to for a very long time, Andy, because I was very insecure.
Well, but what I'm saying is, like, your version of success could be going to do an open mic at the Chuckle Hut. What's wrong with that? Come on.
I think you also like don't like the politics.
I hate the
Like,
politics.
within
the
I
politics,
hate
yeah.
I hate
And
kiss.
I
I can't
think-
kiss ass to someone I don't find funny.
And you've
who?
mentioned
You shouldn't.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you've mentioned that you kind of want to take your own agency in like what you want to do.
So I like what Arturo does so much.
Right.
Oh, thank you,
exactly.
man. I really
of course.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think you're hilarious.
Thanks,
We
buddy.
both
Absolutely.
do.
Appreciate
And
it.
We're all going to do a set on the Manly Girly show.
and maybe this is, you know, like what Harrison is, you know, like Grace us enjoyed the time here because like we are like, so like we're in our late 30s, right? Like, so we came in, like I moved from Austin, right? That's where I started doing comedy.
Right.
And Andy moved from Oklahoma. But it's like we're like adults, right? Like we know, like
Don't make it sound so
Yeah,
sad.
no, no, no,
Don't
You're
make it sound
OGs. That's
so
what you guys are.
pathetic.
Stop saying adults. Say
Yeah.
OGs.
you know,
I
I'm
do
like
say that.
basically I'm a white land owning male, you know. Like,
You identify as
America's
6'5" with a good
definition
credit
of
score.
white, but so it's almost like it's like we recently had like this huge like somebody coming at us with some drama or some bullshit, you know, some I don't know what seems like a kid, you
Yeah.
know, like at least from discourse,
Yeah.
and it's like we're not trying like, you know, like it's kind of like when Joe Rogan did his podcast, right? And I'm not comparing myself to Joe Rogan. He was already an actor. He's just like,
You
oh,
also
I wanna
don't
do
believe in the
this.
vaccine.
Yeah, I want to have people that I like, that I think are fun or interesting, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're doing,
Heck
right?
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
in a sense, like I was telling, we were talking about this with Andy earlier. What if somebody that you love passed away, right? Like, wouldn't you love if they had like a podcast, right, or something
Sure.
where not only you can remember them in your memory of them, but you can remember what they thought funny, how they reacted, how, you know, like a little bit of slice of their life as well.
You value the footprint more.
Yeah.
The
I-
footprint, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I have voicemails from my late grandparents that I've
Yeah.
got stored. I will never delete them off my
Exactly.
phone.
I send my voicemails from my father to a file on my computer and I save them all.
I
Even
think
though he just calls me, it says the exact same thing every time.
I know. I
Every
like
time.
what is it? I think my dad or my mom, I think they made like a USB file of like all of the voicemails that they had, whether it'd be like happy birthday or like, hey, I'm just checking in on you or something like that. Give me a call. And it's a really nice thing. So I agree. I
Yeah.
would love to have some sort of a footprint that's a little bit more,
Absolutely.
you know. who they
footprint
were.
for your mind. Even this is
Yeah.
also what we're thinking. Like the way that I see it, any of the podcasts that we've done, or any that we do, or Alex or any of us do, is like think about it in 20 years. Like, wouldn't you like to have footage of you 20 years ago?
Right.
Right, and a lot of it. Imagine if all of a sudden you can stem the seed. It's like, what did I change when I get older? Why was I? Or did I forget something when that I knew when I was younger? Maybe, you know.
Almost like a video diary.
Yeah. I think video's gotten a lot bigger, I think, in more recent generations since cameras are a little bit more accessible. But I remember as a kid looking through my parents' scrapbook and seeing like what they looked like when they were young, which I think is a really beautiful telling. So having like maybe a video scrapbook, that could be something that's cool too.
It's called
Do you keep any of your old notebooks from like?
It's called a vlog.
You're right.
I've moved too much, unfortunately.
What?
I've moved too much, and I'm not that organized.
What?
Man, I have all my books that I like from stand up. Like, if I actually wanted to craft an hour, I probably could at this point because I have
dope,
so
man.
much like old material.
You know what I hear a lot from you sometimes, and I hope I'm not out of line saying
of
is
course.
that you want things and you work so hard towards getting those things.
Yeah.
And then it's like when you get almost to the finish line, you just are like, I'm not going to do
my
this anymore.
Yeah, I think that's definitely. Oh,
But the
man.
thing that I will tell you about being, 10-ish years older than you is you spend a lot of time plugging away at something that you don't think is going to pay off
And it
until
does.
someday
It does
just
until
pays
you
off.
strike
Yeah.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not even about
putting
striking
the fucking
gold.
microphone in front of your face.
Someday he'll learn.
I love you, brother.
He's putting in the work right now. But genuinely, I've been thinking about it a lot. It's like it's hard to
You
be
set yourself up
jealous.
for failures.
I do.
It's hard to be jealous as a person as you get older to know how much work that I personally have put into my own projects, my own well-being, whatever it is, and then to look at somebody else that's successful in another way. It means very obvious that they put work into something that I didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And how can you be mad at that? They can't be mad at you. You put work into something. Everybody's just trying their best to build those things. And when you're young, it's really hard to see that those things will come to fruition.
Right.
But they will.
You're
Entertainment-
afforded that luxury in your 20s, though.
You absolutely are.
You have like kind of like a padded room for a life, and you kind of get to bounce around. And
That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
which-
exciting. And
Yeah.
you should explore all of those opportunities. And then when you don't see immediate success, you should plug away anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? If you like it, you should keep doing it anyway.
Thanks.
Yeah, Harrison. I mean, we're about to. So your style of comedy will be popular soon. We're spinning around to be into what is it called? The Ladies' Tale, with the one where they wear all red, hoods.
Oh, the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. Like the pendulum just. The wilder the pendulum swings, the more erratic I feel like the.
I don't think I'm a safe comedian at all.
Oh, no.
I know that for a fact. I'm
you
not
don't
safe.
say.
And like I've had fucking. I'm surprised he even mentioned me. Tweed.
Harrison?
And he was like, I hope I don't get in trouble for something he says. And I was like, if I'm associated with you, I am like, we're different completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Harrison's
there's a
still
reason
there.
I have like, Alex or Hunt. Like I have the certain people on my podcast because I know I can riff with them, and I know
you
it's a
haven't
different
had me
style.
on, by the
It's
way.
a different
I should
style,
point out-
man.
I should point out that you have not had me on your podcast.
Today.
Bro, do you want to be on today? Arturo, I'm not keeping you, man.
Okay, well, if you get extra time, yeah, I'll record.
Yeah.
it.
You and Alex can be on. I was just giving Alex because we had two bad podcasts on you and
You
I.
had two bad podcasts?
He didn't like the audio in the
doing
first
his.
one
Yeah.
or in the second one.
Who, Alex didn't?
Yeah, and I've had him on,
Oh,
and
Alex.
I've been on the side of Fry, so now I look like the asshole. Now I'm not trying to be the
Alex.
asshole.
You know what show you've also been on?
Oh, Casa, what? How many? Yeah, name all the other ones, dude.
The thing is I really like Alex over here just giggling in the
Just
corner.
vibing,
He's like,
dude.
yes,
Just fucking
I'm a professional.
vibing.
I expect
Probably-
perfection and nothing less, sir.
Probably thinking of when the next, gym is open.
like I'm ready to push.
Know that everything
Yeah.
I say is because I consider you a friend, and
Thank
I
you.
as a friend, if I didn't give a shit about you, I wouldn't say anything. I like
Yeah.
to challenge you, right? Like
You do.
and
You get off on it, I can tell.
No, and
He
this,
likes
this
you.
is a weird thing, right? Like I am an eccentric person, and I tell Andy that I'd rather have the impact on somebody's life where they maybe learn something and maybe they say fuck that guy's an asshole, and even if they say maybe fuck that guy that's an asshole, that hopefully, like, because I pride myself in noticing certain things, and it's like hopefully they can hear it and hear that it's like, whether it's it sounds like, it's always love, even if it's sometimes it's like
critical.
tough love and whatnot,
criticism,
because
that means people care about you
in a palatable way. So it's like, hey, you're great. Like, I'm gonna give you some shit about it.
Right.
Maybe I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Maybe lean into it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm giving you shit about it. Don't be so coy. But I always mean it in the sense for the positive impact, even if that positive impact sometimes lends it to blowing up in my face, because sometimes it's a little bit of, it's okay.
He's like, hey, can I hammer this situation?
Oh man.
Like I told Alex, he's like, no more DSs for women. Like, no more.
Not even one. Not one, sir.
You gave a DS to a lady?
Well, we wouldn't know because you're not talking into the fucking microphone.
Okay. You gave a DS to a woman? It's gonna fuck up your sound.
We've done like an hour and 20 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
Lynn, like, was that
So
easy?
get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
Have you done another?
Thank you for being on, Caitlin.
No.
You never done a podcast?
Wait, no, you have.
Oh, yes, I have.
Yes, you
I
have.
forgot. What
You've
did we
done,
talk about?
what is it?
Unreleased
She's done Bad Taste, Good Intentions.
Oh, what is that?
And this is a podcast in Wilmington, North Carolina with my co-host, Mike Bird. Shout out. Hopefully you can get him on if you're still here. I'll shout him out
we
and
have
stuff.
to
Yeah.
look him up.
Yeah. I must warn you, he is very fat. If you're watching this, Mike, you're very fat.
What the frick? Why do we have to warn you?
There are two things that Harrison
Is the
prejudiced about, and one is weight and height. He's very accepting of race. He doesn't care.
But God damn it, if you're fat,
And
get the
shout out.
fuck out of here.
He's like, race
Shout out.
religion, I don't care about, but if you're not tall enough or fucking good enough, you're gonna hear about it.
Or if you watch porn.
Yeah, shout out. Because these are all things you can change about yourself. But that's
Height?
another.
Height?
How you gonna change
Yeah, you can just
fuck, man?
you can pull your legs a little bit. You can.
Oh, what about that guy? The
get
guy who
stilts?
got his legs broken, and then you
Yeah,
get
you
that
can do
thing
that,
where
yeah.
they stimulate the growth, and then they stretch your legs
That's
a
a
little
thing?
bit.
You could take human growth hormone, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out
well.
his kid, Verilyn. Yeah. Mike's a dad. He's a cool dude. So.
But he
used to
is
play ball
very
together.
fat.
Yeah, we're
Fat
good
as
friends.
shit.
He is
He's fat.
very-
Yeah, he's very fat now, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you say unfortunate? Did you say now and unfortunately? Did he get fat recently? Did he used to be?
He told me he gained weight. He
told you
When
he
met him,
gained
or
weight?
You
he
get
gets-
dad weight.
He got dad weight. Yeah, he's got dad weight now.
He's got dad bod.
Yeah,
Like
he's got
girls are
dad weight.
into that now. Why are you calling him fat? Other women call him daddy. You know?
I don't think his wife
Don't you
Amy
kink
would like
shame
that.
him? Oh well,
Yeah,
she calls
better
him daddy
fucking watch
too.
out.
She's like, "Hey, daddy, did you mow the lawn in your kids yet?"
So Caitlin, I have a question. At what stage, like, would you like if Harrison just bicked his entire head? Would you be able to live with a Harrison that has nothing but
A hairless
big head
Harrison.
and a beard?
big
Like
head
if he
and a beard.
switches it.
Like, if you just were an omniscient head, like, what do you
Like,
mean?
no, he bigs all his hair 'cause he's very paranoid of losing his hair. So let's say
Oh,
he
I
just
see.
decides to go for it and just like shave it all.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really
Okay.
don't care.
Yeah.
Well, let's take out the clippers and let's do it
I'm
right now.
I've had my head shaved before. I'm very like I'm not gonna be like one of those guys that like freebases Propecia. Like if it goes, it goes.
Hey, they say that $10,000 can replace your hair.
Yeah, you
Dude,
can do like the.
you know what that money
the
is?
plugs.
That's a down payment on a truck. That's
More than a down
I
payment.
know, more than a
For
down
down
payment.
on a truck.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than have
hairline?
hair. Yeah.
So, Caitlin, do you think but if she bicked her head?
If she shaved her head,
Yeah.
well, then
I think you can pull it off.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I gotta be honest.
I always liked.
I think you could.
I always liked American History X. I could have it in front of me now.
I think I've got a weird head shape. I think there's something weird.
Really?
about
Oh,
it.
you
No,
got,
you don't.
I
It's-
love her.
It
I
looks
love her.
great. You
I
look
love-
great, bald.
We have weird moles, both of us.
Weird
we both
what?
have weird moles.
On your heads?
Yeah,
I've got
a weird one on my
yeah,
head.
Yeah, she's got.
Why do you call it weird? Did you name it?
It's
No, we haven't named it.
it's
we
flesh
should give
colored. Like it's like not like a traditional.
Do you know what I
mole.
find weird? Flesh colored nipples. People who have
Oh.
flesh colored nipples freak me out.
Can
and
I
my
be-
best friend in the entire world, and
Yeah.
I tell her often. Like, she texted me about it the other day, and she was talking about her weird flesh color.
Yeah.
Tangent, right?
Like there's just no contrast.
There's no contrast. They just blend right into them.
You know what's going on in Annie's brain when she's thinking, she's thinking like of a little like, like thing racing, because to make the leap from there to nipple, it's like I want to know one neural pathway. And like,
If you think about it, like
The flesh colored part.
Yeah.
a nipple is just a really sensitive mole
Nipple.
No.
with milk coming out of it.
On that note,
Yeah.
thank you for being here, Harrison.
You're welcome.
it's
I'm
a pleasure
technically a
having
biologist.
you,
Yes,
like-
genuinely.
I'm real.
We're glad. We thought maybe
Thank
you
you
were
for
made
being on.
up.
I gotta
Caitlin.
catch my flight back to Canada.
Yeah, every fake girlfriend's from Canada. Yeah.
Every
gonna need
fake
you to
girl- you
pay
look a
up.
little Canadian.
I mean,
That's
you'll
insulting. How dare you?
Right?
Come back and visit at any time.
Please do.
Like,
Please
Yeah.
come visit in
really
Savannah.
Oh yeah, we'd love to.
absolutely.
Georgia.
We've never been.
Gorga.
Gorgo.
Yeah, hell
Gorga.
yeah. Well,
I gotta use the bathroom. Thank you for having me on.
thank you for
On
being
that
I
note.
like how you just he's like, fuck it, I don't care. We're still recording.
Please.
I am done with this podcast.
I have to pee.
Well, this has been Badly Girly.
Caitlin, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.